She was on the thumbnail for sure. Hi everyone, my name is Mimi and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be reacting to the first episode of season 4 of Classroom of the Elite Assassin from the White Room. This is gonna be so fun. Uh, I am so glad that I didn't have to wait to start this season. So yeah, last episode. Um, Ayanokoji and Karuizawa are now a couple. I can't wait to see where that is. And there was a whole lot of deals being made last episode between first between Ayanokoji and the chairman Sukishiro about these upcoming students, and one of them being from the White Room, and he needed to figure out who he was, and by the end of April, something or other. And if Ayanokoji is able to figure it out, then he's gonna voluntarily leave the school. And then there's also a deal made between Ayanokoji and Suzune where in an upcoming written exam, if she wins, then Ayanokoji is gonna be giving his all for the class. And if she loses, then she's gonna join the student council. Um, we also had, what was her name again? Masushita also confronts Ayanokoji, also wanting him to give his all for the class because she also wants to go to class A. Ryuen and Hashimoto and whatever his name is also had some kind of meeting in the bathroom somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, a whole lot of stuff going on last episode. And before we get into this one, if you guys like my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/feeling. And with this being the first episode of this new season, the full length is going to be available for free. The link is going to be in the pinned comment, so you can just check it out. And if you like it, consider supporting me on Patreon. So let's start this episode, and here we go.
Okay, guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comment in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review.
I'm so excited. I can't deny it. People, just okay. Aw. Oh, cool. I wonder, is that why the reason why she had her hair short, because she didn't wanna do the opposite of seasoning? I don't like this. Installing a new app. They can control you. Ooh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Spying on you? Okay. Really? I don't believe that. That makes sense. What the heck? Why are you focusing on Sudo right now? Yeah, I know that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is it just me or does it feel like I don't know the quality of the images is not a crystal clear? Is he gonna tell you? You already made a deal with them? So I'm guessing we can assume that this white room assassin is in 1D, right? She was on the thumbnail for sure. Boy, calm down. Calm down. Ishizaki? What? Are they from the same neighborhood? I know what you call that. Oh, intro. Oh, I get why they're sort of like hiding people's faces or whatnot, since one of them is the assassin. But they're saying hiding, hiding. Is that what they're saying? Hiding, hiding. Mm-mm-mm. Oh my goodness. I feel like I wasn't talking much this episode because I feel like there was a whole lot of thing, not a whole lot of stuff, but like, well, a whole lot of talking about the situations, I guess. And like I said previously, when there's a whole lot of talking, sometimes it's like into one ear and out the other, and I don't fully retain. I barely retain anything. Uh, what's her name? Nanase? I feel like she's a red herring. And the show's trying to make us think that she is the White Room assassin, I guess. But it's not. The way Ayanokoji at the end, it was like she's sizing me up. And I don't know, the way she was looking at him, like she's sort of like her expressions, her expression as she was looking at him felt like someone that's holding a grudge. And it would go well, I guess, with this person being from the white room. That person will certainly hold a grudge against the golden pinnacle that is Ayanokoji, you know. And then when you think about when they were, Tsukishiro was talking to the White Room assassin, and of course they're not gonna show us who it is, but you see him or her grimacing at one point. When I saw that, I'm like, okay, you're gonna lose. Whoever you are, you're gonna lose against Ayanokoji. Even though I already know in my head that Ayanokoji was gonna win. That him or her displaying that kind of emotion just like that tells me you're not in full control of yourself like Ayanokoji is, you know. And for Ayanokoji to be this cold, calculating kind of person, and you clearly are not. You may be smart, you may control your emotions to a certain degree, but you cannot control it 100% like Ayanoguchi does. And that in itself tells me that you are not gonna win against Ayanoguchi, you know. But the thing is the girl, is Nanase the assassin? I don't know. I guess we'll see. Now this Hosen person, you know, when there's violence like that in in the show, and there are cameras and everything, I always think, why are they like him being so aggressive like that and like choke holding Ibuki and no one is doing anything? And I'm like, how is that allowed? You know, because he's the one that clearly made the advance, right? And no one is coming to her defense because they're saying, okay, there are cameras there and we don't want to have any trouble. How is you defending Ibuki or whatever not in your favor, especially if there are cameras around and he's the one that made the first move, you know? And are you allowed to just choke people like that and with no consequence? Like this, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. You know, sometimes when Ryuen is doing his thing, at least he sort of like hides. He's in a spot where maybe like the cameras are not really looking or something. He's not out there where there are cameras and beating people up. I mean, not that I can remember any instances of that happening or anything. Like I don't remember, maybe he did and I just don't remember, but it just feels like he's not out there in the open where there are cameras and attacking people. But then this person is allowed to do this and no one is saying anything, no one is reporting it, like it's just there. But then again, if you think about the person that's in charge of the school now, Tsukishiro, he's I feel like he's someone that would not care even if you report it, if it's not advantageous to his goals of expelling Ayanokoji, he's not gonna do anything about it. Like I don't know, but it confuses me why they are allowed to do those kind of things with no repercussions. You know, I don't like it. And then at one point when he was chokeholding Ibuki and Nana says like stop it or something about you is gonna get known. So clearly she has some kind of leverage over him and Okwechi peeped that, so I'm guessing he's gonna be try to figure out who this Hosen is and what Nanase is holding over him and probably use that to his advantage at some point, you know. It was so nice to see Ishizaki come to the help of Sudo when Hosen was um basically taunting him and he was about to lose it and then Ishizaki just like jumped in there and stopped him. I was like, oh. And then Ryuen showed up and I'm like, oh. is Ryuen gonna help? But he didn't really help. He just like they basically acknowledge each other, Ryuen and Hosen. So I'm guessing in their neighborhood or whatever, both of them are notorious for being gang leaders, fighters. I don't know, something or other. And clearly they are enemies, and we're gonna see them brawl or something at one point, at some point in the future, I'm guessing. So this test that's coming up, the second years or whatever are gonna be pairing up with the first years, and then they're gonna be doing this test, and they downloaded this app, this OAA app, overall ability app, where your abilities or whatever are ranked and everything. And what they said about when they talked about this app and downloading it and all of that, I'm like, I was reminded of the final exam where Tsukishiro manipulated things to make Ayanokoji lose. So I'm like, okay, if you're having these students download this app, what's telling me that everything is like on the up and up and you're not changing things in the app in whichever students whose ability or whatever you want to change, whose letter grade you want to change. Well, what's telling me that you're not doing that? You're not actually changing Anokuji's letter grade or something or other in the background. Like, I don't know, I don't trust it. And yeah, when Tsukishiro was asking the White Room assassin, "You're not hiding anything from me, are you?" And that person paused for a second, but then kept walking. I was asking myself whether or not um some part of this White Room assassin wants to team up with Ayanokoji in order to bring the White Room down or something or other. Like, yes, they went through this program, but they're not happy with it, even though they came out successful, I guess. He's not, he or she is not really up on the, he's not happy with it, or she's not happy with it. And they want Ayanokoji's help in order to sort of like dismantle it or something or other. That thought crossed my mind, but I don't know. It may just be that there's it's some other reason, and we're gonna find out what that reason is. Um, what else? Ichinose organized some kind of mixer, I guess, to make the first years. The 1D didn't show up, and when they didn't show up, Suzune and Okoji and Sudo, they wanted to go to the class because they felt like the fact that they didn't show up means that they are already organized and that someone is, I guess, a leader there that's organizing things. But then when they were on their way to them, they met Ryuen. Ryuen told them that this class clearly knows how this school works. And the reason why they know is because Tsukishiro gave the assassin all the info about the class and the students and everything. So yeah, and then when they got to the class, no one was there. And then when Nanase and Hosen showed up, and they were like Hosen especially wanted the class to bow to them and ask them to be their partner because it's gonna be disadvantageous to class 2E to wait until the um final day, I guess, because of the penalty or something or other like that. And that even if they are penalized, it's not really gonna affect them because they're not gonna be expelled. It's the class 2D, those students that are on the chopping block. So they don't feel like they can afford to lose those points, I guess. But class 2E D is not because they are on the chopping block. So yeah. And then they said that app was a suggestion by is it Nanabe? What's his name again? Nagumo. It's Nagumo's doing, I guess. And Ayakoji was like he he's I guess it's part of his plan because he wants to expel people. And if it's based on individual ability and whatnot, and if you're not keeping up with your scores and whatnot, then you're gonna be on the chopping block, and that's one of his goals, I guess, to get people expelled. I guess we'll see. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to episode 2, the link is gonna be in the pinned comment, so you can just click on it and you can watch it right now, and you can also catch up with all my previous Classroom of the Elite reactions. There's a playlist in the comment as well. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. Kajerare, kajerare, derekare, kare, nena. Kajerare, derekare, kare, nena.